I'm Teresa Davidson, co-founder and CEO of Chains Interrupted. We have had a very busy year contending for the freedom of youth from human trafficking and exploitation. Tonight, we're not just celebrating our achievements, we're celebrating the collective effort, dedication, and unwavering commitment of every individual involved in our cause. Let's journey together through some unforgettable moments that defined our past year. In January last year, we were able to partner with NCOSE, the National Center on Sexual Exploitation, in presenting our first international conference called Barriers Survivors Face. 4 amazing survivors shared various barriers they faced getting out of a life of trafficking as well as after they were out. In my 12 years working in the anti-trafficking field, this is the first conference I have seen specifically addressing this topic. This past year, I was asked to join the defense team and testify several times on behalf of Piper Lewis, a 15-year-old girl who was arrested for killing one of her rapists. The court came to understand the manipulative ways traffickers operate and the impact of the trauma Piper experienced while trafficked. I am thrilled to report Piper is currently in a safe, restorative place and is doing phenomenally well. Last time I spoke with her, she shared she had recently been baptized and was excited to get involved with her church. Of course, speaking up for those who are oppressed. Piper is a warrior, and I believe her story can change the world. Being involved in Piper's case brought new partnerships across the state and multiple opportunities to educate lawmakers, correction workers, lawyers, and judges. This past year, Chains Interrupted was asked to speak at the Iowa Corrections, Juvenile Courts, and State Public Defenders conferences. And a committee is being formed to look at the corrections and judicial systems in Iowa, how they handle cases involving human trafficking. In November, Chains Interrupted was asked to provide expert testimony in a legislative committee hearing at the Capitol regarding a potential safe harbor law. Iowa needs to join the 34 other states that protect juveniles from being prosecuted for prostitution and directs them to non-punitive, specialized services instead. I was able to travel to DC to do some critical networking with federal officials at the release of the Trafficking in Persons report by the State Department, meet with legislators surrounding critical issues facing our youth, and expand partnerships for our BRICS program across the nation. When Chains Interrupted became aware of a large labor trafficking ring involving children in Iowa, we were quick to offer any assistance we could. This has included research, raising awareness, providing training and assistance to local agencies and advocates, and directly advocating for the children involved. Labor trafficking is a rapidly growing crime that is often misunderstood, unidentified, and unaddressed. I was honored to be chosen to present on this topic at the International Just Conference in Washington, D.C. Advocates from all over the United States shared with me their concern over this growing issue and gratitude for a partnership for solutions. Although a daunting problem, we will continue to fight for the children in this and everything else that was mentioned tonight with everything we have.
Hi, I'm Tish Young, Chains Interrupted's Chief Operations Officer. Chains Interrupted continuously strives to provide excellent human trafficking prevention and awareness education. We know awareness education is the absolute best prevention to exploitation available. For that reason, we are continuously working to build on our programming. Some of our 17 presentations are specific to industries such as the medical community, the financial and real estate industries, even the Department of Corrections and the judiciary. Others are for parents, grandparents, teachers, youth counselors, and kiddos themselves. We present to thousands of school-aged children every year, teaching them what to look for and then what to do should they find themselves in a tough spot. Our CEO is a pediatric nurse practitioner, and she reminds us, children do not have the developmental capability to handle what will be thrown at them online. They just don't. I'm quite proud of our team's push to educate all ages to respond to the growing epidemic of online grooming and provide caregiver tools to prevent this type of exploitation. In an effort to build a better tool for our community, Wix helped us build a new website this year. As with anything in technology, we work continuously to ensure its accuracy, efficacy, and usability. You can learn more about trafficking, check out upcoming events like the Red Sand Project and Safety Fair in July, or our Freedom Ride in September. Request a speaker and, of course, make a donation, all through our website. We're grateful for partners like Wix that give what they do. People often ask, how do you sustain in the fight against the evils of trafficking? The short answer is on our knees, but also with our team. We're extremely grateful for our team. Our board of directors, Jeff, Colin, Caleb, Zoe, and co-founder Lynch and Rayside, provide the structure needed to confront reality with empathy, fortitude, and strength, but to also seize opportunities effectively. Our member board, this crew comprised of 8 truly amazing humans, including Marilyn, Ray, Sharon, Lisa, TJ, Deb, Nancy, and our Jefferson Award for Public Service winner, Joe O'Leary, are the hands and feet of Chains Interrupted. They are our go-to crew, first to pray, first to the table to help plan and develop fundraisers, awareness events, manage information booths, and provide education to our community. They attend nearly all of the 14 proclamation signings declaring January Human Trafficking and Prevention Awareness Month, traveling from Osceola to Cascade, Ely, Solon, Cedar Rapids, and so many places in between, sometimes 2 in one night. You'll recognize them. They wear their hearts on the outside. The bigger part of our team is our community, you. As an organization that is nearly 100% private donor funded, you are the key component to ending trafficking. You decide what's important to your family and your future. You decide the type of community you want to live in. You have the power to have conversations that matter with people that matter to you. Thank you for joining us in the fight against the evils of trafficking.
One of the many ways that people choose to support Chains Interrupted is through volunteering. Volunteers help us increase our outreach efforts and raise awareness in so many ways, from providing support for outreach and awareness events, organizing presentations in their communities, places of employment, or their children's schools, or even walking in one of the many parades that we participate in throughout the year. Our 4-legged parade participants are a big hit with the children. Volunteers also help raise funds for Chains Interrupted by donating unwanted items to Stuff Etc. or Elegant Repeats in our name, donating proceeds from their own garage sales, or creating handmade items to sell and donate the proceeds to Chains Interrupted. Chain breakers are key volunteers who've been specifically trained, giving them knowledge about human trafficking and Chains Interrupted. This enables them to represent Chains Interrupted within the community by tending to information booths, public speaking, or planning and organizing fundraising and outreach events. Events such as our annual bicycle ride to end trafficking, Freedom Ride, Red Sand Project, and Safety Fair are all led by our amazing chain breakers. Speaking of the Red Sand Project and Safety Fair, be on the lookout for more information coming soon about this combined event to be held on July 27th in Uptown Marion. Our Speakers Bureau is made up of specially trained chain breakers who provide educational presentations and training within the community. We have 18 different programs designed to raise awareness and increase prevention efforts in schools, business, specific professions, and the overall community. Thanks to our Speakers Bureau, we were able to provide 177 presentations in 2023, reaching nearly 6,000 people.
My name is Christina Hernandez, and I'm the Program Director of Survivor Services. I'm excited to share with you what God has done this past year through our advocacy pillar. The Harbor Home, a residential program for survivors, provided housing for 2 women and 1 child in 2023. These participants received trauma therapy, advocacy, personal support, and time to heal. Additionally, they were showered with practical donations from our generous supporters, such as household and paper products, hygiene items, diapers, and gift cards for gas and groceries. These women knew that they were loved and cared for at the Harbor Home thanks to so many of you. In 2023, our advocacy team responded to 89 individuals who came to us for assistance, referrals, or support. The services they received ranged from referrals for safe housing to transportation to legal assistance. They were provided with advocacy, accompaniment, access to community resources, and referrals to specialized programs. And perhaps most importantly, the survivors we served were met with compassion, empathy, and trauma-responsive support. One woman we met didn't realize she was being trafficked until she heard one of our presentations. She understood for the first time that her boyfriend had been exploiting her, and she decided to leave him for good. She told me, "I just feel so relieved now. My life has taken a turn upward in many ways." After I heard Chains Interrupted's presentation, the Lord really revealed so many things to me and is working to break some chains I still had in my life and mind that were holding me back. I'm free, coming out of the fog, and God is helping me to see how intentional He is and how great His love is for me. You're a real chain breaker, and I am so grateful. As rewarding as it has been to serve adult survivors in our community, we have recognized the gap in services for youth, the most vulnerable among us. Our goal moving forward is to reach the kids in our community before the predators do. So prevention and early intervention are absolutely essential. This is why we developed and launched our new program for at-risk youth, BRICS. An administrator at one of our partner organizations said the students we serve have gained tremendously from the Chains Interrupted programming. Our students are victims or highly at risk of becoming victims if they don't receive the knowledge and support necessary to break the chains of victimization. Of course, when we're working to prevent trafficking, it's impossible to know exactly how many young people will be spared from this horrific crime. We won't have the numbers to show exactly how many teens chose not to meet up with that stranger they met online, or how many individuals will never have tattoo brandings on their bodies, missing person flyers with a picture of their face, or emotional scars that last a lifetime. We won't have statistics for that, but we do know that every child who is educated about grooming, online safety, and the methods that traffickers use is better equipped to identify a predator and less likely to fall for their schemes. Our goal and our prayer is to educate and equip as many young people as possible so that the trajectory of their life stays on the path they want it to go.
Hi, I'm Christine, Development and Donor Relations Coordinator. I'm new to this role, but my passion for what we do to protect our vulnerable youth has been stirring in my heart for a while now. That's why I'm so incredibly thankful for all of you, those who are partnering with us to help change the outcome for so many young people. Without your generous support, we couldn't do the work we do. 2023 was a busy time for fundraising. Many of you used your creative minds to pull together events that would bring about awareness of human trafficking and bring in much needed funds to help us continue our work. Countless hours went into each of these events to make them successful. Events like citywide garage sales, a church rummage sale, a self-defense night out for women sponsored by Professional Women's Network of Eastern Iowa, our second annual bike ride to fight human trafficking, our annual Freedom Ride, the 40th anniversary Moreau Martial Arts Breakathon, and our Handbags of Hope event hosted by Green State Credit Union. As many of you know, an event in 2022 raised money for a billboard to be up for 4 weeks on I-380, where it was seen by thousands of vehicles. There are still funds remaining for another billboard, which will run for 4 more weeks this year. Several small businesses continue to partner with us on an ongoing basis. Thank you, LA Trends Addict, Revibes, and Iowa Girl Inspired for your consistent willingness to give what you do. Stuff Etc., Elegant Repeats, and Airwaves, a local band that donates from free will offerings throughout the year, and so many more that I don't have time to mention, have been integral in helping to fund our mission. We're grateful for you. My goal for 2024 is to continue to get to know and develop relationships with you, our donors. You are the lifeblood of our organization, and you make our dreams and visions possible.
Hello, I'm Luncheon Rayside, co-founder and board chair of Chains Interrupted, a volunteer position for me. It is with a lot of excitement that I bring to you our second annual update on what's happening in Central Iowa since Bob and I moved here. Des Moines is again topping the chart as the fastest growing major Midwest metro. 25% of Iowa's population lives in the Des Moines metro. For reference, Des Moines' downtown area has seen an 82% increase in the last decade. That means we have a lot of work to do here. With Teresa's involvement with the Iowa Network Against Human Trafficking and so many other organizations located here, it is even more important that we continue to have a strong presence. We are grateful to be working with Secretary of State Paul Pate and his fantastic staff. Their efforts with Iowa Businesses Against Trafficking are making a huge impact. And if your business hasn't signed up to be a part of that, please do. Training. We are aggressively working to get folks trained to present at schools and businesses. At one middle school alone, we will be talking to more than 850 7th and 8th grade students over the course of a few days. Now let me tell you, I don't even like to hear myself talk that much, but the impact it is having on the students, the faculty, and the staff is really powerful. We have medical staff wanting to get trained so they can better identify people who present in the ED and clinics. We are talking with law enforcement, city officials. So many clubs and organizations are requesting speakers. Bless you.
Thank you for joining us tonight on this reflective journey. May the accomplishments we've shared inspire us all to create even more progress in the days to come. Here's to the incredible impact that awaits us in the next chapter of our collective story.
Thank you for fighting with us for the freedom of youth from trafficking and exploitation.
Thank you to our volunteers for logging enough volunteer hours in 2023 to be the equivalent of 1 full-time and 1 part-time employee.
Thank you for creating a better community for our children.
Thank you for caring about the vulnerable youth in our community.
Thank you for caring about this growing crime against our children.